Hey, Wonderhussy here. And when I say I'm in the middle of nowhere, this time I really mean it. I mean, it's technically not nowhere because that is Mexico and this is California. So I'm way down by the border, but it's kind of like this weird no man's land. You can see maybe in the distance there's kind of like this weird fence type thing. I don't think it's actually a border fence, but who knows? It might be. Look. Okay, here I go with my crappy digital zoom. I don't know. It could just be some kind of like irrigation thing for this field. Even though it doesn't really look like a irrigated field that's growing crops, it looks like just desert scrubland to me. Right? Anyways, I'm not really here to wax philosophical about the border or any of that politically weighted stuff. I'm just down here because I heard there's a bunch of amazing abandoned ruins in this little town down here called Jacumba, I think that's how you pronounce it. This town has a hot spring in it, and back in the day, it was a really swanky spa destination. All these bigwigs from LA, Hollywood would come down here and soak in the mineral baths and relax or get cured of whatever ailed them. But around World War II or slightly thereafter, for whatever reason, this hot springs here started to become less popular. The ones farther north by Palm Springs, I guess, were the place everyone wanted to go. But the final blow, according to what I read online, was when they built I-8. It bypassed this town by like 2 miles. So it's kind of like the movie Cars, where they built the interstate and it bypassed all those little towns that used to run. This used to be US 80, okay? But when they built the interstate, well, nobody takes US 80 anymore. And this town supposedly really dried up. And all the hot spring bathhouse closed down. And the guy who owned the rights to the hot spring capped it off, and there was no hot spring here for years because of that. I don't know why he would ever cap off a hot spring. I mean, something that's kind of scroogey to do, but apparently someone has bought the rights to the hot spring and reopened it. So we'll see if we can check that out, but you have to pay to stay there, and I'm on a budget, so I'm just going to camp in some BLM somewhere tonight, some BLM land, which is free camping, government-owned land. But it's free, right? Okay? So I'm not trying to, plus it's Valentine's Day, so I know the hot spring resort is probably all booked up anyway. Okay, yeah, wow, look. This little town is so freaking cute. Or it looks like it was once really freaking cute, but one of those little towns that just kind of dried up. And then check this out. Look at this, ruins of this old bathhouse. It's so cool, so creepy. I guess this was a really fancy resort back in the day. It's so creepy. It feels like I'm going to the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Oh man, it says private property, no trespassing. I wonder if they're serious about that. It's probably a liability thing, because look, there's signs that tell you about the place. Seems like they want you to come in here. Look, this was the bathhouse. The Thomas Health Institute, part of the health resort developed by Bert Vaughn in the 1920s. Wow, it reminds me a lot of YIKES. If you've watched my video about YIKES, mineral spa or abandoned mineral spa in the desert outside Vegas or between Vegas and LA. Similar kind of a vibe here. Building burned, fell into ruin, but it continues to be used as a backdrop for films and photography. Oh wow, cool. On the west side of the building you can see the traces of a wading pool with a concrete bench or island. Okay, we'll look for that. Wow, this is so creepy. I guess the fact that it burned down makes it even creepier, but it's especially because it's overcast today, right? It's not normally overcast and rainy like this in the desert. It's kind of lucky in a way. I mean, I am camping tonight, but it doesn't matter. I'm sleeping in my car, so it can rain all at once. Holy wow, look at this. This is so spooky. I love these archways though, man. You can look at how the paint, the old paint job, it must have been so beautiful in its heyday. Let's see what's around this corner. Oh wow, look. Okay, we're around the back now. There's some doors back here too that you can peek into. These must have all been little rooms people stayed in. Like there's the old plumbing. Or this must have been like the boiler room. Just look at that. But holy wow, man. I have a vivid imagination. I can imagine what this thing looked like back in the 20s. It was real swanky. Maybe that looks like that was some kind of a shower room, maybe. This old chicken wire is so spooky. I wonder why that was on the door. Maybe it's just to keep animals out. Oh, look. You can barely see written on the back wall there. Please turn off when through. I guess that must have been for the... Oh, maybe these are little bath tubs, like private soaks. There was like a little private tub in here that you could soak in. I bet that's what it was. Wow, like they had those at Zyzix. If you watch my Zyzix video, same thing. Holy wow, look at this gross old mattress in here. Yikes. It's another one. Yeah, I guarantee that's what these were. These were just little private soaking rooms. Because look, there's no roof on it, and it looks like there maybe wasn't even one to begin with. So maybe they were open air soaking tubs. Holy cow, I climbed up on one of the walls to look in the window, and this place is just full of rubble. Look at that. It's like probably 4 feet of rubble. Collapsed ceiling, roof beams, plaster, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, I just love this awesome front arcade. It's so beautiful. Let's see if I can peek in just a little bit through this front doorway. Oh wow, look, there's so many rooms in here. It just went on and on. This must have been like the main entrance, and then off to the side there was all these different rooms to the left and to the right, and they're all just totally burned out now. There is nothing left here. Holy cow. You can hear voices. There's still people who actually live in this town. I think that's a decent sized population, maybe 500 people or something. Not sure. Holy wow, look how beautiful this was. I mean, this must have been some kind of really cool little grotto back here. Wowee. This old resort has so much potential. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Might have to tear it down and start over. Okay, let's go try to find that abandoned swimming pool that sign was talking about. I think it looks like there's some kind of fenced-in thing up here. Okay, wow, here's the remains of the old swimming pool that they were talking about. Holy crike. This was a ginormous old swimming pool. Wow, look. I don't know if this was like the old stairs to get up to it. What it was, but I'm gonna stand on it. Holy Jiminy. Can you imagine this whole thing filled with warm mineral water? The hot spring supposedly came out of the ground at 104 degrees, so it's pretty nice hot soak. Although to fill a pool this big, it probably cooled down quite a bit. Still. This also kind of reminds me of the video I did at the Taos Pueblo tribal hot spring. There used to be a hot spring resort there, and same thing. They closed it down, and there was like creepy old concrete remains of an old pool there. Check that video out if you're in the hot springs. That was a good one. Look here. It's old pipes from the old hot spring works. It's like the old pump house is still running. Listen. Oh, you know why I bet it is? The hot spring resort, the one that is open, that I'm too cheap to stay at, they bought the rights to the Jacumba hot spring source. I bet that's what that is. So it's still running, and now they just have it pumping, maybe going through that black pipe we just passed, all the way back to the new Jacumba resort, which I'll show you guys in a minute. Interesting. Okay, wow, look at this. This is all that's left of the old Hotel Vaughn. 65-room hotel built by Bert Vaughn in 1925, later renamed the Hotel Jacumba, which, by the way, one of the other signs says it's definitely pronounced Jacumba. Anyway, so this was the big fancy hotel in town. Holy cow, they found a jade Buddha in the soil here? Like it says, embedded in the lobby fireplace was a jade Buddha, a startling relic dug from the soil in Jacumba. The hotel was elegant for its time, but settled into a genteel decline. Oh my god, I bet that was amazing. Before its demise. And then in 83, a fire closed the hotel, and it was fully demolished by 91. Holy cow, I can't imagine that they found a jade Buddha down here. I mean, to me that sounds like one of those ancient aliens things where, like, wait a minute, so there was like Chinese explorers down here on the border of California and Mexico prior to 1920? I've never heard anything about any of that, but I think the jade Buddha is probably gone now. Let's look. Yeah, I don't see any Buddha left, but holy moly, what a fireplace. I mean, this must have been a ginormous lobby. I can just picture coming out here back in the day to soak in the nice warm water and then cuddle up by this giant friggin' fireplace with a book or something in the evening. I mean, look how big this is. See? Like, I'm standing right next to it. Yikes, you could burn quite a bit in that. Beautiful. Yeah, there's really not anything left, though, of this old hotel. Just the old stone foundations. And you can see where the old floor was. And then there's some stuff over here. But, oh, and then there's that old wall over there. That must have been the far wall. Dang, it is all gone now. Wow, this town actually reminds me of Taos in a lot of ways. It's a really kind of similar landscape and vibe and the whole hot spring angle. Interesting. I guess Taos isn't quite as economically depressed though. Taos has that ski resort. Unfortunately, they don't have any skiing out here. Just the one hot spring place. Let's go check that out. Oh wait, look! It looks like it's one of those towns where they're trying to, like, artists are moving in and taking over it because it's probably super cheap. Oh, the school bus, huh? Probably super affordable, you know. So all these artists come in and make cool art. That's neat. There's a little cafe here, Jay's Southern Cafe. That's supposed to be really good. Wow, like, look at this building. This building looks super Taos-y. Interesting. Taos and Jacumba should be sister cities. But look at all these cool, old, creepy buildings. I don't mean creepy in a bad way. I think this town has a lot of potential. It's really cool. Wow, look at the old walkway here. Holy cow, that looks old. I don't know if it was just built to look old or if it's really old. Oh, look, for rent if you want to move here. Bet you could get it for a song. Let's see what's in it. Oh, just kind of like a empty storefront, but look at those cool what do you call those? Support posts. Wow, look at all these bars on the doors and windows. It's like there must be a lot of crime out here, maybe just because it's by the border, you know? And look at this old gas station, man. All boarded up. Wow, this town is like Disneyland if you're into abandoned stuff. It's like a lot of places I go. Wow, what a cool old garage. It had a car wash, auto detail. Ooh, fancy. Love it. Look at those cool gates. Oh, wow. Some graffiti on the wall here. It's not very polite, so I can't read it out loud. Beepoff.org. Interesting. Wow. I love these old gas station, the architecture. It's so cool. So interesting. Okay, and then look at this part of the building. Wow, this was like the office, I guess. It's all closed off now. This is that stupid glass that you can't see through. So we can't even tell what was in there, darn it. Huh, look at this graffiti. Pasty white. That's pretty much me. The creepy old bathroom, yikes. There's really nothing in there, so I'm not gonna go in because it's well, I'm already in. I thought there might be a medicine cabinet, but you know, it's a gas station, so why would there be? Nothing left here but a tire now. That was probably the men's room. Here's the ladies' room. Oh yeah. Couple stalls and some cans of cat food. Wow, crazy cat lady came here and dumped all our cat food. Or maybe somebody feeds all the feral cats. Some crazy cat lady comes out here, feeds all the feral cats, and gets schnookered on schnapps. Okay, here's the new Jacumba Hotel, or what's it called? The Jacumba Hot Springs Spa. It's pretty cute. I mean, it's small looking. I can't speak to the facilities. Maybe we can peek over the wall, but kind of reminds me a little bit of the spa at Ojo Caliente. Of course, the spa at Ojo Caliente is way nicer. I mean, fancier, but this is really cute. It has similar kind of a vibe, desert hot spring vibe. It's Valentine's Day, so there's all these couples having romantic dinners and they're soaking, getting it on. Meanwhile, I'm out here on the outside just poking around the desert. Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day. The desert is my only love. Oh, here's another little abandoned house just sitting at the side of Main Street. All the windows are broken out. Wowee. And this house doesn't even look like it was that old. Although it does have that nice wood floor. They don't really do that anymore. Wow. Good sized little house. right on Main Street, right on the highway actually. This was US 80. I mean, this was probably prime real estate back in the day. Oh, well, maybe it was a commercial establishment, because look at the floor. I don't know. I guess that could have just been the kitchen. And then that was like the living room, bedroom. Holy moly, there is nothing left here now. Spooky in here. At least we're out of the rain though. It's just a very light mist, but I'm getting kind of soggy. Oh, look out the back. Some more old abandoned buildings. And then beyond that, Mexico. Mexico is right in the mist back there. I wonder how many illegals are struggling through those hills in this freezing cold drizzle right now, trying to get to the promised land. Like, that little house was sitting right at the crossroads of town. Like, there's old US 80. This is it. There's the new resort, the old gas station, and then down this way, that was where the old resort was and the old hotel. Anyway, that is Jacumba. Really, really neat little town. I definitely recommend coming here and staying at that resort. I'm going to try to come back and stay there sometime. I really like the vibe here. I don't know, something really eerie about it, but very peaceful. And I bet the stars are amazing at night. But I got to wrap up because my sister just got here. I just met up with my sister. She drove from LA and I came from Vegas. And we got to find a place to camp tonight before it gets dark. And before it starts raining more. But we're both sleeping in our car, so it'll be okay. But holy wow, I am so glad I stopped off in this amazing, kind of creepy, kind of sad, but beautiful little town. Okay, wow, I had to make a PS to this video because it's so interesting. My sister rolled in and we kind of poked around Jacumba for a minute, but we really wanted to find a place to camp before it got dark because it's kind of spooky down here. There's border patrol friggin' everywhere, like SUVs and Jeeps and trucks, and I mean, I'm sure they're just scanning the hills for illegal migrants, but then there's also all these signs about smuggling is a federal crime or felony or whatever. So it's just kind of a spooky vibe to the whole area. It almost feels like we're in a no man's land or almost like a demilitarized zone or something. It's weird, but we wanted to find a place to camp that felt secure, right? Okay. Now, we've camped right on the border before down in Arizona on some BLM land near Organ Pipe Monument, and it was beautiful, but it was kind of sketchy. There was like warning signs everywhere, and this kind of has the same vibe. Kind of spooky, but friggin' beautiful, okay? This is kind of like a off-roading park that we're camping in. It's actual campground, and there's actually vault toilets there and little picnic tables and fire rings and whatnot. So we backed our cars up here by this little fire ring and stopped drizzling for a bit. I might even be able to make a fire and make some Frito pie. Hopefully the smell of Frito pie doesn't lure, doesn't lure illegal migrants or BLM agents, because I don't really want, Border Patrol agents, because I don't really feel like dealing with either one of those tonight. Anyway, I better stop yakking and get this fire started. Okay, it's really getting dark, so you probably can't see much, but we got our fire started and our cans are heating. Haven't really seen or heard any traffic. One truck drove by, but it seems like a pretty safe place. I mean, I have my bunker in the back of my car here, which again, you probably can't see because it's really dark, but I'm just gonna sleep in my car and lock it up and hope for the best. So cozy in here with the rain falling on the roof, but yikes, hopefully I survived the night. I got my windows all blacked out with Reflectix, which is black on the other side, and my doors are locked, so see you in the morning. Well, we made it. Survived sleeping at this really cool little campground right by the Mexican border. There's a lot of truck traffic going by on this road here overnight, but there's windmills in the area. It's like a wind farm. You can't see them right now because it's really misty. Haha. But there's a bunch of, those giant windmills. Anyways, I think, I don't know why people would be going to the windmill farm in the middle of the night. Who knows? Maybe it was smugglers and coyotes and border patrol. I sleep with earplugs and a sleeping mask, so I didn't hear any of it. Just in case you thought I was being melodramatic about camping this close to the border, look. See these bottles of water? I think they call them border angels, because there's immigrants or migrants, whatever you want to call them, illegals, undocumented peoples trying to climb across this desert all day, every day. And okay, it's misty and cold right now, but a lot of times it's blazing, baking hot. So, you know, dying of thirst is a real possibility. So these border angels, which are basically local liberal do-gooders, leave bottled water in these little caches all over the desert. I mean, we've seen quite a few of them. It's really interesting. And then I heard a news story that a lot of times the border patrol agents will come along and like purposely dump them out, which is kind of salty. Look, here's another one. Left a whole gallon here. I mean, this whole desert is scattered with jugs of water. It's really kind of surreal and almost kind of haunting in a creepy way.